Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Rahul. In today's video, we are going to solve a medium level problem called count servers that communicate from LeetCode. So we will break it down step by step, and by the end of this video, you will have a crystal clear understanding of how to approach this problem. Let's get into it. So this is our problem. Just imagine you have one 2D grid where one represent a server and 0 represent an empty cell. So if two servers need to communicate means they have to be either in the same row or in the same column. So our task is to find how many servers in the grid can communicate with at least one other server. So if you go through this example, you will get to know from this grid 1001, it's not in the same row, neither in the same column. So the output will be 0. When it comes here, it is in the same row, same column, and it's in the same row. That's why we are getting the output 3. When it comes here, it having 2 in the same row, 2 in the same column. This one don't have any communication with any other. So the output will be 4. Like that we need to check. So let's start with our code. First, we have the method count servers with the grid matrix with a 2D array. First of all, we need to initialize some variables in order to get the length of the row and the length of the column. Means number of rows and column. So I will name it as m and n. So this can be used to keep track of. We need two more arrays which need to keep track of the numbers of servers in each row and column, and we need one variable to store the total number of servers that communicate. So we can name it as count to keep track of the row. We will use row count with the size sum. Same like we have to do for column count. Then first of all we need to count servers in rows and columns. So um, we need to first pass through the grid. So we need to go through every cell in the grid to count the number of servers in each row and column, and if a cell contains a 1, we increment the respective row and column count. For that I will use for loop in order to iterate. Now we need to check whether the cell contains 1. If grid of I j is 1, then we need to increment the row count and column count. Now we need to do the second pass through the grid where we need to go through the grid again. This time we will check if a server can communicate with others. Means now from this example only I mentioned, we need to check whether there is more than one server in its row or more than one server in its column. So again we need to do one for loop int I equal to I to 0, I less than m increment I. Same for int j to 0, j less than n increment j. Then we have to check whether there is more than one server in row and one server or one server in column. If get of I j equals 1 and row count of I greater than 1 or column count of j greater than 1, then we just need to increment the count if it satisfies this condition. Now after all these things we need to return the count, which is our result. Okay, yeah, it's working. Yeah, it beats 100%. So when it comes to complexity analysis, for time complexity, um, we did two passes through the grid. So first pass calculates the row and column count. Second one identifies communicating servers. So the time complexity is big of m into n. And for space complexity, we use two additional arrays of size m and n to store rows and column count. So the space complexity is big of m plus n. And that's how you solve the count servers that communicate problem from LeetCode. If you found this explanation helpful, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more coding tutorials. Also, let me know in comments if you like me to solve any other LeetCode problems. Until next time, happy coding.